Welcome back to our continuing coverage of the 74th Annual Serra International Conference. We're here today with Joe Parisi.
Thank you.
This is the St. Joseph Evangelization Network. We're in St. Charles, Missouri, and in Orange County, and today in St. Louis. And Joe, you are with the
White House Jesuit Retreat,
which everybody in St. Louis knows about.
I like to think that way as the marketing director, but
Well,
what we find at these type of events is there's still a ton of people who maybe even live 5-10 minutes away from it who have never heard of it before. So it's great to be out at events like this talking about it.
and it is, by the name of it, a retreat center.
It is, yeah. A little bit of history. It was originally a farm property on the bluffs high above the Mississippi River in Oakville, which is South St. Louis County. 80 acres. The Jesuits acquired it in 1922 because they wanted to start doing retreats out there, and it's really been in operation nonstop ever since. We now do, we welcome about 4,200 people a year.
4,200
on retreats, yes,
Oh,
men
wow.
and women. We can accommodate about 90 at a
Right.
time. So any given week, there's up to 90 people there. So it's a
You know,
beautiful thing.
I think when we hear of a retreat, it's something that other people do. You know, I don't know if most folks know, but every priest needs to make a retreat every single year. When I was in high
Correct.
school, we made a retreat every single year. And then various organizations, an organization I just joined, they try and do a retreat. In fact, they did it last year at the White House. I'm a member of the Knights of Peter Claver, and
Fantastic.
they do a retreat over there every year. So tell me, why should we do a retreat?
Well, as you look around, you see people glued to their smartphones like this. They're constantly getting pounded with media, with various messages. You got yours right now? There it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even going to listen to you. You talk, and I'll look at my
the,
phone.
The stress of everyday life, family, job, work, the media, traffic. You need a break from that. It's going to
Right.
drive you crazy. You just need a break. You need a place where you can just simply get away and get some peace and quiet and kind of recharge your batteries. And then we're also recharging the spiritual batteries.
Right.
When people come there on a retreat at White House, it is a silent retreat. It's a guided retreat. So you're not talking while you're there, but you're receiving messages through a series of talks by whoever the Jesuit priest giving that retreat is, and then given time to reflect on that silently by yourself. So it's just something that is really needed in today's noisy world to keep some sanity. People say that, I walked away with just a greater clarity. It was just, I haven't had peace and quiet like that in years. And it's just something that for your physical and your mental and your spiritual health, we can all use.
And it's a surprising experience to have some silence. I travel
It
a great
is.
deal. I went to Chicago last year, and in my haste, I forgot my cell phone. I might as well have forgotten my shirt. I felt so unnatural, uncomfortable. But I went through the airport with no phone. I went on the airplane, and then I'm on the subway, and I'm looking around, and nobody is looking at anybody. All they're doing is looking at their devices and their cell phones, and they're plugged in. And that was not silence for me, but it was a clue that I don't have silence in my life.
Absolutely. And when you take those things away, you suddenly can start to notice things that you have gone months, if not years, without noticing. Your focus has changed. It's off of the internet. It's off of Facebook and Twitter and all that, and it's to what's actually going on around you. And at White House, you add in that you're basically on a vacation with God, and some pretty incredible things can start happening out there.
Yeah, I'll remind our viewers that you're listening to the St. Joseph Evangelization Network, division of St. Joseph Radio. We don't have a lot of silence on the radio, and this is almost a bit contradictory to our own world,
Absolutely.
if you will. We had Father Augustine on the radio just a little bit ago, and he gave an hour talk on silence. Wasn't that awkward? you know,
It is.
just having a moment of silence when you're not expecting it almost throws you off.
Absolutely.
And you do a weekend.
We do, yeah.
Or a couple of days, or how does
Sure.
that? How long does the silence last?
Sure.
More than the
So-
2 seconds I had.
I'll run you through a typical retreat.
Please.
Check-in would be, for a weekend retreat, would be Thursday from about 5 to 6:30 p.m. We start everything with a dinner. Everybody's still free to talk, mingle, get to know one another, the other men or women on that weekend retreat. And then after that first dinner, we go into the silence. The silence continues all the way through the end of the retreat, Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. Only exceptions are, when you're in Mass and there are talking parts in Mass
of course,
or singing,
yeah.
we still
you got to
do
participate
that.
in Mass.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
we encourage the participation, and then we do offer after the dinners, the rest of the nights, the Friday night and the Saturday night dinner, there is an optional 1-hour fellowship period. So after the dinner, we say, okay, we're now going to have the fellowship period for those who wish to, stick around in this area and converse and mingle and all that. You're free to do so. If you want to remain in silence, now's your opportunity to leave the dining room area, and the rest of the campus will still kind of be under silence.
I don't know.
You can do it either way.
Yeah, I don't know if it's secret or not, and if you're divulging anything you're not supposed to, then don't do it.
Sure.
But, for example, at a dinner or a meal, we're sitting, we're eating, and we're not talking. What's going on?
So we have a series of spiritual tapes and tapes, old school, MP3s that we play.
I know what tapes
are. So it
are.
could be.
I know what 8-tracks are.
Right now, it's a mix of Christian music. We've got some nice some Benedictine chant. So yeah, there is some music in the room, or it's various Ignatian spirituality focused speakers. Right now, we're running a series of tapes by Father James Martin.
Sure.
About the lives of the saints.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're constantly able to consume things. So it's not just an awkward sitting at the table in silence, because that would be kind of strange. So we do make sure we get some sounds going in there.
So the point is that, as my wife would say, Peter, you're silent.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're listening. And it's hard to hear God if we're always talking.
Talk less, listen more.
Well, Joe, tell me the website where folks can come and visit you at.
Sure. We are at www.whretreat.org. We've got a retreat just about every week of the year. We take off like a 2-week period right at Christmas time. But besides that, we're nonstop. We have about a dozen retreats every year for women. We have 1 or 2 co-ed retreats in there. We have about 50 retreats for men. And we have a few specialty retreats as well. 4 retreats a year right now are what we call recovery retreats. They're specifically for men and women who are members of Alcoholics Anonymous.
Right.
We have, this will be our 2nd consecutive year offering a retreat specifically for men and women who work as first responders.
Wow.
And this weekend, it actually kicked off last night as our very first retreat specifically for U.S. military veterans.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So we've got 25 men and women who served in the armed forces there right now going through a retreat.
So, Joe, just for our viewers, to be clear, if I'm one guy, I'm Peter, and I want to sign up, I can come and do it.
Absolutely. You can sign up at whretreat.org, or you can call 1-800-643-1003. People are free to sign up on an individual level like that.
Or a group.
Or, there are parish groups, like the Knights of Peter Claver, Knights of Columbus. There are established groups all over the country that come the same time each year. They come on a specific weekend each year, and they try and, just get a group together for that week every year, and it's a traditional thing. You're free to jump in with a group like that if there's one at your parish, or you can just call us and sign up as an individual. Some people like to come on a weekend where they're not going to know anybody else there.
That can be good too.
Yeah, some people prefer that. Some people prefer to come with family and friends, so you can do it either way. All are welcome. And you do not have to be Catholic to attend a retreat at White House. It's a very Catholic-focused thing, but everybody's welcome.
And who knows, something might happen there and you become Catholic anyway.
Absolutely.
All right.
Sure.
Well, Joe, God bless your work.
Thank you
we
so
all
much.
have work in life, but your work carries on and bears
It's a lot of
fruit
fun.
over and over and over. Thanks
Thank
for what
you.
you're doing. Give us your website one more time and your phone number.
www.whretreat.org. We're on Facebook and Twitter as well. And our toll-free 800 number, 1-800-643-1003.
So ask yourself one more time, when was the last time you went on retreat? Has it been a year or has it been 40 years? Think about it. Call the White House. Thanks, Joe. Good luck.
Take care.